There's a saying, if you haven't been sued and you own a business, then you haven't been in business long enough. And what I'm referring to is every business is going to run into this issue where someone's going to try to sue you. And so you need to be prepared for the day when this happens, because if you're not, you will make a lot of mistakes that will cost you, and you could have avoided all of them. Now, having laundromats for 15 years, I've been sued 3 times. One of the ways I get sued a lot is my bathrooms. Now, I have nice bathrooms. They're right over here. You know, they're labeled. One of them's labeled now. They just took the label off the other one. They have handicap bars. They have floor drains. They have non-slip floor tile. So you're probably saying, well, how are you getting sued because of your bathrooms? Well, people will slip and fall or claim they slipped and fell in your bathroom. And there's really no way for you to prove this, because your cameras, which can cover the laundromat as an area or your outside area or your back room, can't cover your bathroom. What typically happens when you get sued is, and it's what's happened on me, so I'm going to give you my examples. Like I said, I'm not a finance guy, I'm not a lawyer, I'm just going to give you the advice. But here's what happened in my situation. I had a lady who claimed she fell. She fell in the bathroom, okay? I got a letter in the mail from the lawyer, and it stated, you need to contact us immediately, because if not, this could get really serious and cost you a lot of money. What that letter was basically to pump you up to get you to call them, and then what they would do in turn, and this particular one is, hey, for $1,500, we'll settle this right now. You won't need to hurt your insurance or nothing. And I thought to myself, I go, screw you. If I was really getting sued, they would send me a summons, they would send it to my house. They actually sent the letter to the laundromat, so they didn't even do the due diligence to figure out who owned the laundromat to send it to the right address, because my laundromats don't take mail, so there's no mailbox. The only reason we found it is a mailman slipped it under a door, and I think we found it like a week later after it had been even here. And then, like I said, that letter just said you need to contact us right away, so I really didn't do much with it. And then I got a little nervous, so I called a friend of mine, and I actually called the guy that sells me equipment, my dealer. And I thought, maybe they know. They own laundromats. They've been through this. He goes, you know, I've been in hotels before he was in laundromats. And he said 8 times a month they would get sued in the hotel. And he goes, because I was nervous. I like anybody, I'm scared. Oh, they're going to take everything I own. They're going to sue me for everything I got. They're going to take my house, my dog, a cat I don't even own. They're going to take everything and some. And he said, don't worry about it. He goes, if you're not negligent, he goes, your insurance will pretty much take care of the whole thing. Just contact your insurance. That's what they're for. That's what they get paid for. Don't try to handle it yourself. So I do. I call my insurance. They take my information. They have an adjuster call me. And they call me literally like the next day, which was awesome. And the lady is an adjuster, and she goes, this is what I get paid to do. And I explained the situation. She said, don't worry about it. She goes, she went and looked at my laundromat. She said, everything's clean and nice. And this lady's claiming the bathroom was flooded because she contacted the lawyer. She contacted this lawyer representing this lady. She was claiming that the bathroom was so flooded and water was running everywhere that no one was taking care of it. And she goes, I just went and looked at your laundromat. It's immaculate. So there's nothing I see that's going to be a problem. She goes, that's the biggest thing. If there's negligence, then they can get you. So we cleared the first hurdle. We got our insurance involved. Cleared the second hurdle. We're not negligent. We know that. I mean, we know that. So now what she tells me is that my insurance covers something called med pay. And what it is basically up to a certain amount for the hospital visit, medicine, ambulance ride, that kind of thing. And it's like 10, 20 grand, something like that. And she goes, rarely will it exceed that for something like this. So if this lady really has some bills, we'll pay them. It doesn't raise your insurance, nothing. Okay, whatever. This lady, after she had talked to the insurance, or talked to the other lawyer, called the lawyer back. The lawyer said, we no longer represent Miss Maxwell. Her name was Maxwell. We don't represent Miss Maxwell. Because what had happened is, they figured out she didn't have any bills. She didn't go to the hospital. She didn't have any medication she had to take. She wasn't out work, nothing. She just wanted money. And this lawyer, they knew what she was up to. Because the lawyer wanted basically me to pay, and then that would be it. They would just take my money for nothing. And so here I am. I didn't pay them. They don't have any money. And their client, they just gave up on her. Now the client tries to talk to the insurance adjuster a couple more times on her own. And she goes, look, if you don't have any bills, I can't help you. And so basically that's what happened. It just all got dropped. That actually happened for the next 2 lawsuits too, because people tried to do the same thing. It happened to all be in the nice laundromat. My other 2 laundromats, knock on wood, haven't had this problem. Okay, and the reason I think that this laundromat in particular has this problem is because when I built this laundromat, this was a rundown building. I made it shine. I mean, I put epoxy floors in, I put the dryers in, the walls, the ceiling, new electrical, new plumbing. The neighbors saw how much money they thought I was spending. And I think they thought, oh, this is a company, they got tons of money, they'll just give us some money to shut up and move on. And so that's not what happened. So for my lesson to you is, don't just pay somebody, because if someone's really fallen on your property, worst case scenario, that lawyer would have got a hold of my insurance, and then they would have gave me a chance to pay directly, not to raise my insurance. If that was the case, that wasn't going to be the case. That's what you're paying for your insurance for, is to protect you. And they're good at dealing with this. They deal with it all the time. You don't, I don't. Let them help you. At least talk to them. Tell people, you know what, people will come up to you in your laundromat, hey, I fell, okay, you have to get a lawyer. And then just leave it at that. Don't tell them you're the owner. Tell them you work on the place. They go, hey, I don't know how that works. You don't have to provide them with information. If they're going to sue you, make them do the work. Don't give them all your information. Say, here's my address, here's my phone number, here's my social security number, here's my dog's name, here's where my money's at. Don't give them all your information. I mean, I know you want to be a good business owner and you want to have great customers and treat them right, but when it comes down to people suing you, this is why I tell people I work at a laundromat. I don't tell people I own the laundromat. This is why I don't give people my information. I don't tell them where I live. I chat with people and I talk with them, but I really don't tell them a whole lot. I don't tell them, oh yeah, I've got this toy and that, and I go on vacations. I don't tell them any of that stuff because they don't need to know it. And if you tell one of them, they're going to tell everybody. So that's another piece of advice. Be careful what you tell, because remember, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is the new currency, if you think about it. What is everybody hacking? Data, knowledge, information. That is the currency of this world now. Everybody wants your information because that is power over you. That is power over the next person. That is, if you could sit here and figure out what the next big trend is, you would make money, right? Knowledge is power. That's why we keep saying that. You need to learn that. So don't give people that information for free. Make them work for it. Make them get a lawyer. If I'm going to pay somebody because let's say I wasn't negligent. If I'm going to pay somebody because they fell, just by pure luck, they fell, or by accident. It was nobody's fault. Not theirs, not mine, not the building. They just tripped. People trip. I'm going to make them work for it. Sorry. That's just the way you got to be in business. It sucks, but that's the way you got to be. So you can't just hand it out or you're going to get in real deep crowd. And personally, your insurance isn't going to deal with them if they don't get a lawyer in the first place. They're not just going to deal with them one-on-one. It's just not going to happen. I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned some stuff. Like I said, my goal with this channel is to just get the information out there, because I see so many young people struggling, so many people in general with businesses struggling, and they get overwhelmed. I hate seeing people get into business and getting overwhelmed by the little details. So if I can help at all, that's what I'm trying to do. So I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you watching all the way to the end. I appreciate the subscribers. Can always use more subscribers. I love them. I love it if you're interested in this, that too. I don't need subscribers just to have a number, FYI. I already got money. That's not the problem. But I like to get this information out there, that's what helps. Hitting the like button. That helps getting this information out for someone else that owns a laundromat. Maybe someone else doesn't know this. And this can go to a lot of businesses. It doesn't just have to be laundromats. But that's what I learned by getting sued. I hope you learned something today. Thanks for watching. Till next time, take it easy.